Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, is a Democrat, but he has always been a POS. He has always been a Christo-fascist, jackbooted armed agent of the state. The Christo-fascist kind of came out once he was elected mayor. I don't know what in the hell goes on. What's in the water? What is in the pristinely clean water in New York City? It is good that they elect such dipshits to be their mayors. Whether that be Republican in the supervillain character like Rudy Giuliani, or the syrupy, sticky, corrupt types like Eric Adams. And yesterday, Eric Adams was before the Congress answering questions, and AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, once again showed she is the future of the party. She is the vision of resistance to fascism right now. She's not the lone voice, but she's one of the few. In the absence of leadership from the actual leaders in the House, like Hakeem Jeffries, who can't find within him one negative thing to say about Eric Adams, that you're getting ready to watch a guy who's not answering questions and doesn't have the temerity or the boldness and spirit to actually just plead the Fifth Amendment and say, I don't want to say anything because it might self-incriminate. Hakeem Jeffries, what? Well, the people are going to have to decide. Yeah, but what do you think about him? Well, the people are going to have to decide. What do you think about your mayor? Hakeem Jeffries, are you too busy wildly gesticulating when you talk to actually be a leader of the party to resist Donald Trump? It seems as though you are. This is criticism coming from a member of the party, from a Democrat. I'm not one of these goofy leftist types who only has criticism for Democrats and never has criticism for Republicans. I criticize both, more Republicans than Democrats, but we're in a moment in American history where we need leadership. People are very afraid of what is taking place, not what will take place, but what is taking place. And we need leadership. We don't need pink jackets during presidential addresses. We don't need auction paddles that say lie. We need action from our elected leaders. We need standing in the face of fascists like Eric Adams and asking pointed questions using the authority of Congress, like this clip. I want you to watch this. And there's two things that I want you to pay. Well, there's two things. There's two people speaking. Those are who I want you to pay attention to. But pay attention to delivery, demeanor. One is trying to evade questions at every single stop. And the other is just trying to get to the truth here of, was there a quid pro quo? What did Donald Trump offer you, if anything, that would cause you to completely abandon all your previously stated political ideologies relative to the treatment of immigrants in your city? What caused that? You flipped on a dime as soon as your prosecution went away. How strange. What a weird coincidence. Eric Adams, you Christo-fascist, jackbooted armed agent of the state. You fascist, watch this clip, and I will attempt to compose myself.
Mayor Adams, on January 31st of 2025, your attorneys met with federal prosecutors regarding the charges of bribery, campaign finance fraud, and conspiracy against you. Were you aware of this meeting prior to its occurrence?
Congresswoman,
microphone, please.
I'm sorry. As I stated to your colleagues, and I'm going to continue to state because we're asking the same question over and over again.
This is a new question.
This case is in front of Judge Ho, and out of deference to our criminal justice
Mayor Adams,
process, I'm going to
Mayor Adams, as your counsel,
I'm
I'm sure will inform you. The only permissible way to refuse to answer a question during a congressional proceeding such as this is by pleading the Fifth Amendment. Deference to the judge is not a permissible excuse for not answering questions during a congressional hearing. Is it your intention to plead the Fifth today?
Councilwoman, you said the only way that you can't answer a question is to plead the Fifth. I am answering your question. I'm answering your question directly. That
You are not, Mayor Adams.
okay, I believe I am.
I will ask it again. Were you aware of the meeting between your attorneys and federal prosecutors on January 31st? Answering this question is a yes or a no.
And I'm going to answer it again. Out of deference to Judge Holt, with this case in
That is
front
not an
of,
answer, Mayor Adams.
he is going to deal with the outcome of the case.
Mayor Adams, is it your intention to not comply with these questions?
As I stated, I'm answering your questions, and what you're doing, let's be clear on, you're asking me about communications between my attorney and I. And I don't
Okay,
think
I'll
that
move
is
on to the next
appropriate
question. If
to
it's
be
about- if
asking a
it's-
question
if it's
between
about-
my attorney and I, because we are in a country of law and order.
I understand.
And your
So, Mayor
relationship
Adams,
and
who
communications
is
with
your
your attorney
attorney?
should be respected.
Who is your attorney?
Alex Spiro.
Alex Spiro, thank you. Now, Mayor Adams, have your attorneys ever met with city officials? That is not covered. I'm not asking about your conversations with your attorneys. Have your attorneys met with city officials, New York City officials?
Any communication or activity between my attorney
So yes
and
or
I
no?
is
Have
up to
your
attorney
have
and
your
I. You can
personal
reach out
attorneys
to,
met with New York City officials?
Alex Spiro, my attorney, to deal with those communications.
Mayor Adams, in this meeting, did anyone representing you, including perhaps Mr. Spiro, agree or allude to any arrangement with the Trump administration that would involve changing city policies in exchange to reconsideration of the charges brought against you?
You say in this meeting? Can you be clear?
In the January
on which-
31st meeting?
Again, there was never any agreement, never any quid pro quo. And
That's
I
not
did
what I'm
nothing
asking.
wrong. Never any agreement, never any quid pro quo.
Was there an
and
allusion
nothing-
to
and
a
nothing
shift
that
in
I've
New York
done
City
wrong.
policy?
Gentlelady's time's expired. And I just want to remind everybody, Mayor Adams is here voluntarily, and we appreciate that. The topic of the hearing is about our illegal alien problem and the drain on the cities and what the solution is. So Chair now recognizes Mr. McGuire from Virginia.
Resistance, persistence, and it's showing leadership. Hopefully, this is instructive. Hopefully, this models good behavior for other members of Congress to follow suit. Because he didn't say, I'm guilty, but he said, I'm guilty. You could read it on his face. He was at every stop trying to avoid answering the question. If there was nothing going on, he would just answer. If there was nothing untoward going on, illegal going on, he would just answer the questions. Instead, he's afraid because he's a coward, because he's protecting himself, and he doesn't want to be prosecuted for his crimes, for his treason against the country, for his taking bribes from foreign powers, for flights to Turkey. Like, if you're gonna go big, do a Menendez, get the gold bars, bro, right? Just gross. And it's compounded. The grossness is compounded by the fact that right now we are bereft of there's not enough leadership in the Democratic Party. There's not enough desire to fight. Or maybe they're actually afraid of Donald Trump. Maybe they're all taking the path of Moskowitz, who apparently had death threats. So Matt Gaetz is going to be a great DOJ leader. Oh, it's going to be great. Well, yeah, I'm going to join the Doge caucus as quickly as I can to signal to Donald Trump, don't hurt me. Call the goons off. Call the mob off. I get death threats. There's a case right now in the District of Columbia led by Ed Martin. This guy who says that he's Donald Trump's lawyer. It's not stopping me from criticizing. You're not hearing me gush, heap praise upon nominees of Donald Trump. This is resistance. AOC just showed you what resistance is. Put this into practice in your life. Call out your elected officials. If you're in Hakeem Jeffries' district there in Brooklyn, 202-224-3121. Again, For the people in the back of the room, 202-224-3121, call him. Demand leadership, demand resistance. We're not going to get through this without leadership. And it can't fall to just citizens. We need the people we've put in positions of leadership to be leaders. I know it's a novel concept to ask somebody to do the job they've been hired to do, but that's what we're doing. Am I being too harsh? You tell me. You can tell me in the comments. You can call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. If you appreciate what I do, if you appreciate the manner with which I do it, I would appreciate you helping me create these videos and reach the millions, sometimes tens of millions of people that I do every month. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can go over to my Patreon page, even better because they take way less of a cut. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on the social media. You can go to Dollemore.com and check out the stickers and the merch and the t-shirts, the poverty, fight poverty, not the poor, the bat phone stickers and the leopard eating face party funny stuff. I'd love to hear from you though. Be genuine. Take care of one another.